Hello students, this is your tutor Olivia Hill. Hope everyone's going really well in their preparation for this final section. What I need to achieve in this call today is for you to understand a little bit more about the assessment requirements, a little bit more of an understanding about how you're going to respond to the reflective questions you'll be given, and also more of an understanding of how you're actually going to submit all of the material. Now, make sure you are really organized because this deadline is a final deadline. So if you have technical issues, they will not accept that as extenuating circumstances. So make sure you leave yourself tons of time to get things uploaded. The long videos sometimes can cause issues, so you want to have plenty of time so you're not stressed at the last minute. Now, you'll have to put all of your pieces in together on that assessment date, on the 20th of October. So, phase 1, we had the annotated lesson plan with written reflection, which I gave all of you feedback on. Make sure you go back, apply the feedback before you submit that. Same thing with phase 2, the digital learning resource with free exercise and rationale. I also gave you extensive feedback on that, so please make sure you do refer back to that and make sure that is edited and you've taken those ideas and suggestions into consideration. Phase 3, of course, the final part, which is actually worth 50% of your overall mark, is the practical class and recorded reflection. Now, this you do not get a practice of. We do not get to give you prior feedback. I just see it the once and mark it based on that. So there's no rehearsal, no feedback for that I get to see. You, of course, can film other classes and make sure you're happy with what you send in, but I only get to see it once. I can't provide feedback for that. Make sure you look in your assessment handbook. We have already talked a little bit about what the requirements are. So if you look back at the previous videos, we looked at the what I'm assessing in this particular section, in this module. So make sure you do look back on that. Now, these need to be, so you're going to be uploading quite a number of things all in the same go. So you'll be uploading the written components from all the phases to Turnitin. Okay, the video of your phase 3 teaching you'll be uploading to Planet eStream via the assessment tool, and your audio reflection, which does not have to be a video of you, it's just audio, maximum 15 minutes, that will also be uploaded to Planet eStream. So you need to make sure you're confident with both Planet eStream and Turnitin, because you will need to use both of those. There's no need to use YouTube, Vimeo, or any of those external platforms anymore, because we are able to upload directly to the Royal Academy of Dance through Planet eStream and Turnitin. Now, the recorded reflection. You are going to each be given 4 questions. They will be different questions. So there's a whole range of different questions they can be drawn from. You'll each be given 4 questions. You are to talk and answer those 4 questions based on the class up to 15 minutes. So less than that is fine. I would aim for at least 10 to 12 though. Make sure you're answering the questions in depth. If you get a bit stuck with this, a really good thing is to just talk through the class. So in the introduction, this particular question, in the introduction, this worked, and then in the pliés, it gives you so much more structure. Otherwise, it can feel quite intimidating having to talk for that long. Whereas if you talk through the class from beginning to end on each of the 4 questions, you'll find you fill time really easily. Now, I'm not allowed to give you the exact questions, but I can give you an idea of what sort of things you may get. So you may get something about your aims and objectives. You may get something about differentiation, how you manage children who are at different levels within the class. You may have to identify different teaching strategies. You may have used, reciprocal or, command, whatever forms of teaching you used. You may have to identify those and talk about how successful they were. You may have to just talk about a section that you felt went really well. So you may get a more specific question where you have to pick one section, one area that you thought went really well, and how you could then apply that success in other classes in the future. Same thing, you may get one that, what section did you think not work so well, and what could you do to change that in the future? You may have to consider your feedback to the class. You may have to talk about student motivation, what variety you brought to the class, how that suited the particular age group, how well you paced the class. Did you run out of time, or was it well paced? Did you not have enough content? You may have to talk about things you demonstrated, and how you might change things. You might have to talk about your learning outcomes, your resources, anything you would change. So there's a huge list of things that you may be asked about, but you will only be asked 4 of them, okay? Another big one, I guess, would be how appropriate the material you chose and the structure of the class was to what specific age group you were working with. Because obviously what we're going to do with a grade 1 class is very different what we do with a more advanced class. So that will give you a little bit of an idea about the questions. All you have to do is record yourself talking for up to 15 minutes, answering those 4 questions. You can, of course, have everything in front of you. We can't see you. Have your lesson plan in front of you, have the questions, of course, in front of you, have some notes in front of you, whatever you can to make yourself feel more confident and secure about that. It also, though, does not need to be like a structured speech. It should be relaxed. It should be, of course, informative, but don't feel like if there's ums and ahs and you're thinking, you have to re-record. It's perfectly fine. It's replacing what used to be the discussion, where we used to ask questions in person with students and get their response. So it was much more a chat, a relaxed sort of chat situation, rather than a formalized speech. So please don't feel like you have to produce a beautiful speech. All right, I'd like to go through now a little bit, just a bit of a checklist, I guess, to remind you what you need to be doing. So remember that final deadline submission, not negotiable. If you don't submit on time, you'll fail a whole module. You cannot use upload issues as an excuse. So make sure you get in early and get it uploaded early. You're going to put all 3 parts in. So you're going to be putting in part 1, lesson plan and reflection, phase 2, the digital learning resource, free exercise and rationale, part 3, the practical class, and the recorded reflection, audio only. Practical class, of course, videoed, or recorded reflection, audio only. Remember the written parts going through Turnitin, the video and the audio recording go in through Planet eStream. And make sure to go back and really check on your requirements, what I'm actually marking in the assessment and examination book. Also in my previous video, we did talk about that as well. Be sure that you, when you're answering the questions in that reflection, that you link directly back to that class. Just keep talking about that class. Use that hint of having the lesson plan in front of you and talking through the class from beginning to end, if it helps, for each of the questions to give you a little bit more of a structure for that recorded reflection. Hopefully this has given you a little bit more of an idea of what you need to do and what you need to put in. Please always feel very, very free to send an email and ask any questions you may have. And I will look forward to helping you with those. And then, of course, looking at all your assessment work when it comes in October. All the best, everyone, with your preparation. Look forward to being in touch soon.